Hello, welcome. I don't want to say too much at the very beginning because last week it was cut off. So welcome. My name's Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards, yay, and share some guidance for this week ahead. That's this week starting Wednesday, the 28th of June, through to Tuesday, the 4th of July, 2023. So, welcome. I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Donna. It is Wednesday, the 28th of June here at exactly 11:03 a.m. So welcome. How's your week flowing? It's been very interesting. Very interesting indeed. So let's just get started. Just in case we've got some new viewers, what I'm going to be doing is using my oracle cards here. These are cards that I illustrated and created. The Animal Kingdom oracle cards and the Speed of Light oracle have been combined to make a 110 card deck. And I'm going to be shuffling these cards and pulling some cards out for this week ahead for the majority of us. I'm not pulling cards for individuals. This is general guidance for everyone. So let's see how it fits. I recommend that you take on board what feels right and what does resonate and fit into your life at this time and let the rest go. Thank you, Bridget. It's so good to be here, and I've got my voice coming back. I had no voice for Friday, Saturday, Sunday because laryngitis hit me, which is interesting. I haven't had it for about 12 years, but it is something that tends to be a weakness in my body, is the losing of my voice. It happened a lot when I was in high school, actually. So I trust you've been led here for a reason. Let's see what comes up today. So our theme last week, just before and I talked about a dark kind of energy, a shadowy energy sort of laying below, under the surface, hidden in some ways underneath us. And I think that has come out and reared its head up for some of us over this last week as we've really done our best to shift things, turn bad situations into good, or look for opportunities within the challenges over this last week. But there may have been some confrontation as well, as a shadow energy tends to be confronting. But let's turn our attention to this new reading week. I'm thinking I should have brought some things out with me to put on my cards because it's a little breezy. But we'll see how we go. I'm now shuffling the cards and I'm asking the cards to show the majority of us what we need to know for this week ahead, starting Wednesday the 28th of June through to Tuesday the 4th of July 2023. So the best cards I trust will find their way to the top of the deck based on the way I choose my cards, and we'll go with these. And I'm going to do something different. I feel I'm just going to go straight off the top, first 7 cards. If we get a featured card, I'm going to honour that as we go, which is not something I usually do because I usually pull the cards and then honour all the featured cards. So let's just go straight from the top. That was also save me laying cards out and having them blow around. So first card for Wednesday the 28th of June. We're just going to go day by day unless I feel otherwise as we go. Excuse me. So Speed of Light Oracle card for Wednesday, and here we go, straight into the intenseness. Actually, it's Cobra Bite, and it is a featured card. Up here it says to take the top card from the deck. So we're going for this card to go with the Cobra, and we've got more serpents and snakes. Oh, youchy indeed. So the Cobra Bite and Creation have come up for Wednesday, and they've come up for around this period. I can feel that this was in effect, especially for me personally, yesterday as well. So there's this energy around. Now let's look at these separately first. Cobra Bite is card 9, and it says Sting, Shock, Truth, and Illusion. This is something happening, something taking us by surprise. It can be an unpleasant surprise. It can be a pleasant surprise. I've seen this card come up for both. But with the sort of polarities that are playing out at the moment, we could find this being like a grand opportunity or something quite challenging, that an accident or an emergency of some sort that happens. For me, that happened yesterday, and thankfully it turned out better than it could have and that it felt on the time, which I'll tell you because last night, for some reason, I've not had an accident before. I backed into the petrol bowser and knocked off the water tap, and in my side view mirror I could see all this liquid spraying up when I hit the petrol bowser. I thought it was fuel and I had a little bit of a freak out, but thankfully it was just water. So that was a little bit of a shock for me yesterday. So this sort of energy's around. And this is very much character of this card. So something taking us by surprise, something to wake us up if we hadn't been paying attention perhaps, or we'd not had our priorities in order. And it comes up with this card, card 29. So card 9 and card 29. This is creation. And it says source, uncoil, light, and authentic. Hi, Regina. So this is uncoiling ourselves. If we've been feeling tight and coiled up and maybe a bit compressed and within our shell and within ourselves, this card's very much about encouraging us now to come out of hiding and to really let our true self come out of a hiding place now. If we feel unsafe, we're going to coil up and hide and protect that vulnerable part of ourselves, because our true self is our vulnerable side as well. So if we do feel unsafe and have in our life, we will kind of retreat inward and move into a guarded place. But this card's very much about moving out of that guarded place and that coiled up place and moving out into the world a little bit more. There is a truth, authentic energy with this card. There's a truth, authentic energy with this card. The snake, the serpent, is about stripping away the old and shedding our old skin of the things about ourselves and our life and our relationships that may not have been working for a while. There is endings feeling too with this card as things are popping up and the serpent and the snake is rearing its head energetically in our life. Maybe as things that occur that are really helping us make some shifts and make some adjustments and really stay fully aligned with our truth. So a triple serpent here for Wednesday. So that's Wednesday. Now Thursday, we're going straight off the top, and I'm just going to keep going if we get featured cards. Okay, we haven't seen the Echidna for a while. This is card 19. So we've had card 9, 19, 29. The Echidna for Thursday the 29th says don't dwell on the details. So we've been encouraged to be careful that we don't overthink or over dig up the dirt on things that are not necessary. There are times for the details, and there are times when the details certainly are important, but there are also times when we perhaps make more out of something than what it needs to be. So this is very much for us to keep in mind for Thursday, that we're not digging up the details and we're not digging up too much dirt on Thursday, making things heavier and more negative and more difficult and more serious perhaps than they really are. So in other words, the Echidna is about keeping on going. Let's just keep on going. Let's also avoid distractions, because part of digging up the dirt or overthinking and overcomplicating matters could be a distraction method that we are using to distract ourselves so we don't have to face the real issue. So that could be interesting to look at. So let's keep going on Thursday. Let's not stop and dwell on the details, the unnecessary details too much. So let's keep on moving. So that's for Thursday. Friday the 30th, the last day of the month, we have this card. We've got the Orca Whale, card 28. The Orca Whale for the 30th says living your purpose. Living your purpose. This is a pretty deep energy around at the moment, and I wrote about this quite extensively in the Current Energy Report at the wee hours of the morning at 3:33 at one stage AM. And there is a deep sense of purpose that's coming in, but it seems different to the purpose we usually connect with, which maybe our purpose usually is fairly deep, but on some levels it feels superficial compared to the depth of purpose that we are craving or looking for in general at this time in our life. And we might find that we're looking for our highest priority, or the thing that we value highest in life. Like we might have certain priorities and values and an order to things on a day-to-day level, and depending on what we're going through, that will sort of ebb and flow. But it feels to be something even deeper and higher, and even more spiritual than that. So, like for me, I feel as I connect with this, it would be truth to me. Truth to me is not a value I have on my day to day priority list, because it's just an overarching value or priority or highest truth that I try and live by. And I feel like we're kind of connecting with a higher but deeper sense of purpose here. And it goes deeper and higher than the mundane things, which are really important. But what influences those mundane things? What overarches like a rainbow over those things that we hold to our highest value at this time, those priorities? So our purpose is more than the physical at this time. And some of us may be searching for a deeper truth or deeper meaning or a higher value to life. And that will be something for us to personally discover and find. And it feels to be important, and it might come up here around or by the end of the month, where maybe by the end of the month we're really sitting in how we can, or what this is and how we can apply it into our life itself. How can we live it? It's not dissimilar to heaven on earth, finding heaven on earth. There's a hierarchy, a feeling of the vertical, a feeling of bringing spirit into matter. So I feel that there's a lot of, just even today, a lot of higher truths or a higher truth or higher value that's coming in that wants to reveal itself in clarity to us, so we are clear about and understand it and what it means and how we define it for ourselves. But how do we bring that then into our life? How do we bring it into those everyday priorities and things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis? This feels to be a real crux and core to the energy that's present at the moment in regards to purpose. So by the time we get to the end of the month, we might be really questioning and looking at, are we living our purpose? What's missing? What's lacking? What are we looking for? And how can we find that truth or that information? See, it could be something for you that's important, like love or peace or stability. For me personally, it's truth and living in a true and honest and authentic way, as much as in all of my interactions and actions. So for me to not rediscover, but just realign myself with that as being my highest truth or my highest priority at this time, my highest value, feels very connective. It helps connect me spiritually and physically on that vertical plane. So see how that resonates with you. But that's quite deep stuff. So just if that's a bit deep compared to what you're going through at this time, then it could be just something in your everyday life that you're trying to look for purpose in. Okay, so we switch to the new month now, Saturday, the 1st of July. And if you just joined in, I'm going off the top because it's a little windy and I didn't bring any things to put my cards down on. We're getting some new cards we haven't seen for a while, so this is a good sign of the energy shifting. So for Saturday, the 1st of July, we have card 16, the rabbit. The rabbit reminds us to make, or it says to make your move. So we may feel scared, we may feel petrified, we may not know how things are going to turn out, or we may be facing the unknown, the darkness and the chaos of the unknown head on. And we're being encouraged to push through that fear as best as we can and make our move forward into that chaos, make our way forward into the unknown that is before us. because in the unknown there are mysteries and yet opportunities and potentials for us to grow and deepen our connection with ourselves and our connection with others and our connection with life. There is meaning and things to discover and things to be found in the mysteries and the unknown. It's very rare that we will find that in our comfort zone. So this is really about moving out of our comfort zone, even if we feel scared or resistant to that. In fact, for me in the past, I've noticed almost every time actually, if not 100% of the time. I'll just say almost, just in case I missed something. But pretty much every time in my past where I felt resistance or fear as I'm looking straight at the unknown or some type of change, the bigger and the louder the resistance and the fear is for me, the more I feel that, the more amazing the thing is that is on the other side of that fear. So then I have, three choices. I can sit in the fear and the resistance and just let that hover for as long as I allow it to. I can decide against moving forward because the resistance and the fear is too loud and it's just too much, and I want a simple life, so I'm going to focus back on what I was doing before. Or I can confront that resistance and that fear, build my courage, and charge head on into the unknown. And every time I've done that, the louder the fear and the resistance, and then that push through that I've made, the more amazing that thing is on the other side, where I look back and go, wow, I'm so glad I took that risk and I built that courage to move into the unknown. So the sign now for me is, if I feel loud resistance or loud fear before I'm about to do something, I'm going to use that as an advantage in some way, as a sign that this is worth pursuing. And it's proven it to me time and time again that this is right. So I've wised up to my ego, my wounded self, wanting me to stay small and stay in my comfort zone. I need to push and explore new territory and find my way and find myself out there in life. So the rabbit on Saturday, make our move is what we've been encouraged to do, to really consider moving forward, even if we feel scared and petrified, and build our courage so that we have that strength to pursue and that strength to move forward. Sunday the 2nd of July, we have a Speed of Light Oracle card. Oh, this is my favourite card, I'd say. Number 14, the Eagle's Nest. And it says preparation, home, soon, and waiting. This is talking about changes in the home. It's also talking about our time of waiting will be over soon. So let's use or consider using our time of waiting to prepare ourselves for the unknown and for the changes that are afoot or in play or in motion now. So that's for Sunday. So what have you got in the works, and how can you prepare yourself for that to make the movement or the change potentially easier? Let's be patient. I remember actually saying, I rewatched my video very early this morning from last week, and I remember saying that there felt like, I heard that I said, and I forgot until I re-listened, but that there was a link, it felt, between patience and peace this last 7 days that we're just coming out of now. And I felt, as I listened to that, I'm like, wow, yes, there was actually this sense of peace and patience locked in together. And this sense of impatience brought a kind of chaotic, unsettled energy, kind of the opposite of peace when we were feeling impatient. So I feel this kind of carries forward. There is a patience energy that's coming through, especially for Sunday. And I'm going to link those two words and energies in together again, that sense of locking patience and peace in together. So if we want to feel some peace, let's consider how patient we're being. And if we're not being patient, maybe we need to consider why are we feeling impatient? Why aren't we trusting in perfect timing in that particular situation? Okay, Monday the 3rd of July, we have the Dolphin action taking. Move on, horizon, forward, and let go. It's time to let the sun set on old parts of our life so that the sun can rise on the new dawn and the new parts of our life that want to open up now. It's time to stop propping open the old door that has expired and to push our way through, or walk through, it's probably a nice way of saying it, walk through the new door that's leading us into the next chapter of our life. There is movement in this card, there is action, and there does seem to be an energy of that. And we might find that sort of one day we're feeling very active and productive. The next day we might be needing to exercise our patience and slow things down a bit. So we might find this push and pull as we move through it as far as action and rest. But that's our card for Monday. And Tuesday, we have Animal Kingdom, Tuesday the 4th. Yes, we've got the same dragon we had last week, which is card 25, the Earth Dragon. And it says physical reformation. This is showing us that whether we realize it or not, or whether we accept it or not, things are changing in our life. Things are changing in our body. Things are changing in our relationships. And we can either move with it, we can either ride that out and move through with it, we can align with it, we can flow with it, we can find its rhythm and sync up with it, or we can resist it, and we can try and swim against the current, and we can try and swim upstream. We can try and go totally against and be rebellious of the changes that are afoot. They are here, they are happening. They might not be clear yet, but there are changes in the air, and there are changes that are happening. So on Tuesday, and maybe in general at this time, we're being encouraged to really check in and make sure we're moving with these changes, and especially the physical changes that are happening. And if we're pushing against, we're being too rebellious of that, we might find things may not work out very easily, or we hit obstacle after obstacle. So let's keep moving with the changes. Changes are inevitable, and changes bring potential for growth and potential for depth and potential for great opportunity to really test and challenge us and show to ourselves what we're capable of and what we can achieve in our life. So there are our cards for this week. I am going to pull a theme card before I go, so I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please show us, hit the like button, show us some love if you're on Facebook. Please comment, please share if you're inspired to, and if you would like to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you're watching this, so I'm streaming this on YouTube at this time, and if you're watching it on Facebook, great. I don't know really what I'm talking about. So a couple of things happening at the moment. We've got actually, for anyone who signs up to my Pillar of Light membership this week, new members or returning members, you'll also receive a Pyramid Power meditation, which is one of my favorite meditations I've recorded. It's about 10 years old or longer, probably, or older, but it is so powerful. I was listening to it this morning. I'm like, I have to share this. So new members or returning members, Pillar of Light or patrons, then we'll send that out this week. Also, if you are currently a member and you would like to connect with that meditation, please reply back to the current energy report that I sent out earlier today. I think it just feels so strong to really, like that energy I was talking about for I think around the 30th of June, that energy of spirit and matter and heaven on earth is so strong at this present moment as I'm recording this, and for these past few hours, that accessing that and meditating a bit more at the moment and connecting and really embodying this energy into our bodies is probably going to be of great benefit. Also, I've got my next online art class coming up. We're starting a 4-part self-exploration series, which is basically going to be doing portraits of ourselves. So that's coming up on the 14th of July, as well as my card reading club. And our theme for that is creative expression. You can grab yourself a deck or two of my cards on my website. I've got earrings, I've got other decks of cards and meditations and art and ceramics and all sorts of things. So please have a look on my website if you'd like to learn more about the work I do at Temple of Balance. And if you get something out of my work and you haven't supported ever, or for a while, please consider supporting my work, because that's how I stay here. If I don't have your support, I can't stay here. So thank you in advance for your support. Please visit templeofbalance.com.au. All right, let's grab our best card for the theme. The theme card will help us bring these days together and this whole week together. What is the overarching bigger picture message for us for this week, the 28th of June through to the 4th of July 2023? We have this card, Animal Kingdom. It's the butterfly. So this brings an upliftment to the whole week. It's card 2, the butterfly, and it says joy. And there's a simplicity to this card. It doesn't feel complicated or overly complex and complicated. We're not overthinking things, but we could potentially this week. That's why the opposite has kind of come up as well. So we may tend to overthink or overreact or overcomplicate. So let's try and keep in mind that peace and patience relationship, if that resonates with us, or that uplifting, joyful energy too, of that nice, clear blue sky, maybe in springtime, and the butterflies are out and the birds are chirping, the flowers are blooming, and it's just beautiful and peaceful and clear. That energy is available to us this week. So let's make sure we don't, clip our wings and roll around in the muddy, ashy parts of our life, and make sure we give ourselves as much opportunity as possible to take to flight this week. And I feel like take to flight is very much about that spiritual connection. We could probably benefit a lot from extra meditation time, extra quiet time too this week, and maybe extra time for journaling and playing with our cards and getting clarity on that more spiritual, higher level. There is also a sense of personal transformation here with the butterfly, as we transform out of the cocoon and into from the caterpillar into the butterfly, into our freedom. And our freedom, there's some space here. There's space to move, there's space to fly, there's space to grow. So if you feel restricted or constricted or trapped at this time, this might be a good thing too to explore this week. So to see how you can, or what you need to do to change or shift to help you feel that sense of freedom and open space and elbow room and air and room to move, room to breathe in your life. And it might not be changing anything physical, even though we might think that the physical things are the barrier or are the restriction. I'm sure we could find freedom within the confines or the constraints of our physical life. It's probably a state of mind. It could be an attitude or a belief we have, and maybe we're not truly happy, or there's something that needs to move or shift for us in our life, so we can feel that sense of freedom even though we're in the same place. So it doesn't necessarily mean physical moving, moving those physical restrictions, although in some cases it can be, but it usually happens within first. So butterfly, upliftment, joy, simplicity, transformation, beauty, and searching or looking for or opening ourselves up to our higher plan, our higher purpose, our higher value, our highest priority. So interesting cards this week. Have a great week. Happy birthday if you're celebrating, and happy anniversary too if you're celebrating, and I'll see you again next week. Now I've got my voice coming back. I should be in through the week too for a healing video. Actually, I've got 2 healing events, one tomorrow and one Friday. So I will be back on YouTube tomorrow and Friday. Take care. Bye.